And joined now at the intermission by former Screaming Eagles forward Brad Cuzner. Brad getting a hold of us here just before he gets ready to go away. Brad, tell us where you're going. You're going to play in the ECHL, I understand?
I'm heading down to Wichita, Kansas next year. Played 4 years with St. X. Coach is from Cole Harbour, so he gave me a call. And
Going away, nothing unusual for you, even though you played major junior at home. Looking at your records here, you started off going out to play midget in Saskatchewan. What was it like to go away that early?
I went away the year before at St. John, New Brunswick, just outside at Rothsay. It was an interesting move. I was pretty young, but I was still close enough to home to kind of get back and forth. But going to Saskatchewan, you don't really have that luxury. It was a neat opportunity. You learn to grow up pretty quick, fend for yourself a little bit, so it just helps the growing process.
And of course, you do end up coming home to Cape Breton to play with the Screaming Eagles. How exciting was that for you to play for your hometown team? And you watched a lot of games growing up?
You know, watching guys like Joey Haddad, Chris Culligan, James Shepard, and those guys come through, and, you know, you always want to be one of those guys. On draft, I got a call from whatever happened to the internet out there. I didn't see that I got drafted, and I got a call from Logan Shaw, who was playing on the team the year before. So that's how I found out that I was drafted. It's pretty exciting going into the rink every day with your best friend, and, you know, you meet such great guys in Cape Breton and such a great community that it was a ton of fun, and I was lucky enough to have great fans, my family at home watching me every day.
And you mentioned Logan. He was there along with you, and I asked Marc Bourgeois about this in the playoffs last year. Seems like you had every corner of Cape Breton covered on that 2009-2010 team with so many Cape Bretoners on the roster. Did you have a special bond between you and all those guys?
Jeez, I don't know how many we had, probably 9 or so, I think. Good friends with all of them. Played 4 years with Corey McIntosh at St. X, and we're great buddies. And obviously, growing up with Logan, we're still great friends. And Nick McNeil and Ashton Bernard, Marc Bourgeois, those guys, Stephen Holt, some of my great friends. One of the team as a rookie that year, and all these guys are veterans. It helped me help my process. And Nick was our captain that year, so I mean, that just kind of brought me in and was great to me. And so having that great connection was great.
And you were fans' choice both years you played in Cape Breton. What do you think it was about your style that won over the people at Center 200?
I'm not really sure. We had Ashton, who fought every night, beat up a lot of guys, and we had Luke Adam, who had 50 goals. I would say come to the rink and you work hard every night. Okay, Breton has that work hard mentality, and probably not the goal scoring ability or anything like that. So my guess is the work ethic.
You also, of course, played in Halifax for a year. What was it like being on the other side of that rivalry? And also tell us about that team, because you were playing with McKinnon and Drouin when they were coming up.
I was lucky enough to play with them. Nate and Joe, they're both great players, and Marty Firk and guys like that who all moved on, have successful careers so far. But it was neat to get to see them, and when they were so young, that just they're professional back then, right? They knew they wanted to make it to the NHL, but being on the other side was a bit different. Create friends in Cape Breton, and then all of a sudden you're going head-to-head against them 8 times or whatever it was. It was a different experience, but there was a lot of motivation in those games for sure.
No one ever wants to lose to their old team. Speaking of motivation, tell us about UMB and St. X this past year. You're playing for St. X your final year there, and you and UMB kind of went back and forth. Tell us about that. You obviously had some big games this season.
UMB is a great team. They have a great organization, and for years we've battled with them. They've always been a powerhouse, and they've been top in the country every year. And last year we just kind of found a game that worked against them and kind of grind them down and take away their skill a little bit. Back and forth all season, like you said, just kind of we'd win one, go into overtime, they'd win. You know, AUS Finals was amazing. First time we ever won in their rink was in the AUS Finals. You know, winning that was great, and taking them in the finals, it's pretty cool. You're playing against a conference team, and it comes down to it with UMB, us, and then St. Mary's, all 1, 2, 3 in the country. It shows the power of the AUS.
Yeah, strong hockey and a lot of XQ players there as well. Lastly, I wanted to ask, going back to St. X, tell us about your studies there.
I finished off with a business degree.
Well, excellent. Hopefully that will serve you well, but I think fans wanting to see you succeed on the ice before that. Best of luck in Wichita, Brad. Thanks for this.
All right, thank you very much.
It's former Screaming Eagle Brad Cuzner joining us here at the intermission. You're listening to McDonald Auto Group, Screaming Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.